We want to spend the next few minutes on an important topic. The case surrounding Gabby Petito's death has probably been all over your feeds. She's the 22-year-old who went missing on a cross-country road trip with her fiance. Police recently found Gabby's remains. They're still looking for her fiance, who is now a person of interest and a suspect. It's a tragic story, but some people have wondered why we don't see the same nonstop coverage for other missing persons cases, particularly for minorities. I'm joined now by the CEO of the Black and Missing Foundation, Derrica Wilson, to talk about this. Thank you very much. It's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us. First, tell us about the foundation and why, sadly, there's a need for an organization like this.
Thank you, Tony, for having us. We started this organization nearly 14 years ago to shine a spotlight on missing persons of color, because quite frankly, when you turn your televisions on, we don't see anyone that looks like us. You know, we all know the names of Natalie Holloway, Lacey Peterson, Chandra Levy, but no one knows the names of Deidre Reed, Keisha Jacobs, Unique Harris, none of those names. And so we wanted to even the playing field because these families are desperate, they're hurting.
And you work directly with these families. Do you have a sense of how many families you've worked with on this issue?
We've worked with thousands of families across the United States. And since our inception, we've helped reunite or bring closure to over 400 families. You know, we've come a long way. We still have a long way to go. You know, we have to shout out our Black press, who's helped us spearhead this issue of bringing our cases to the forefront. And, you know, even our local media partners just helping us tell our stories because they're so important. You know, again, our cases are not bubbling up to that mainstream media. So we have to create the message and the stories ourselves.
And we're talking about Black young people who go missing, people in general, but particularly young people and girls. Black, brown, Asian American, indigenous people, some startling numbers in those cases, including in Wyoming where all this happened. Why do you think this disparity exists?
Well, when it comes to our Black and brown community, when it comes to children, they're oftentimes classified as runaways. Runaways are not receiving the Amber Alert. There's no sense of urgency to find the missing. When it comes to missing adults, men, women that are Black and brown, their disappearance is associated with some sort of criminal activity, and it's simply desensitized. And so, you know, we're just trying to change that narrative. We need more diversity in the newsroom because the decision makers don't look like us, and we need more diversity on the police forces, specifically in the commander ranking, so we can get sensitivity to these cases, to these families, a sense of urgency. You know, one case that I'm thinking of in particular is Daniel Robinson. He's missing out of Arizona, and law enforcement, they're not spending any time looking for him. There's been no searches on their behalf that has bubbled up to this national attention that Gabby has received. And this is a young man, similar circumstances of his disappearance. He went to work, coworkers last saw him, and he just fell off the face of this earth. You know, so there's a lot of cases out there that are like this. There's a lot of Gabbys in the Black and brown community.
You bring up a very good point. That's why representation is so important in terms of the media, in management circles, in the editorial rooms, all of that. So that hopefully will help correct the problem. I want to just quickly mention, we got to wrap, but you have a hashtag, Aisha Alert. What is that, very quickly?
The Aisha Alert?
Yes.
That is the young lady that went missing from the military base a few years back. And, you know, that alert is happening because anyone that's going missing right now, these families are creating their own hashtags. They're creating their own flyers to get these stories out there because mainstream media is not bubbling up. Mm-hmm. Our hashtag is help us find us. And that's what we need everyone in the community to do. Help us find us.
Help us find us. The hashtag help us find us. Derrica Wilson with Black and Missing Foundation. Thank you very much for talking about this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.